Here with Angela Foran from Meridian Acupuncture in Vancouver, Canada. So thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
So we, at peoplemenders, we have a volunteer section on our website where we profile volunteer opportunities, and we wanted to kind of talk to somebody about their experience volunteering. So you volunteered for a group called the PanAfrican Acupuncture Project, is that correct?
That's right, yes.
So could you tell me a bit about the project, what they do, and where the organization is based?
So it's based in Boston, and it was started to help people in Africa cope with basically HIV, AIDS, just because there's not a lot of resources for people in certain areas. And so what we do is we go and train healthcare workers to do acupuncture to help people deal with certain physical and emotional type things that they might be experiencing.
So tell me about the sort of benefits that you saw from the work that you did there. You may have seen more the second time that you went back, because it was sequenced, if I understand. It was the same people that you were training.
Yeah.
So tell me a bit about that.
Well, and I think that was what was great about going back a second time, being able to work with the same groups of people, seeing their progress, and also being able to see, the second time we had a chance to go and visit a lot of their own clinics where they're working out in their own villages, and that was really interesting, and just to hear, more about their progress and their success stories, and just sort of getting, I guess, being able to have more of a connection with them,
right.
Because the trainings are a week long. They're fairly intense, and you do get to know people quite well, but being able then to see them, a few months later, and to see the changes that have happened and how they've been implementing the skills that we've taught them, that was great to be able to see that.
Earlier you had been telling me that there was a day that there were just hundreds of people lined up.
Most days we would treat over 100 people.
Okay.
Quite often we would arrive in the morning and there would already be 50 people or so waiting for us.
Wow.
And
so the need is quite great.
It is, and throughout the course of the training, like the week that we were in a place, we would see people multiple times.
Right.
And I think that is actually what's really beneficial. Acupuncture is really meant to be given in a series of treatments that are close together.
Right.
People can get maximum benefit from that. And I think that's why the trainees would have that much success in their own clinics, because they would go and see people every day. Right. Or they would have people come and see them at their own clinics, every day, every other day, that kind of thing. And from one training to the next, there were some people that we definitely saw again.
Okay.
That I think would come whenever there was a training session.
Okay.
It seemed like they had been there during the first one and
right.
the second one and the third. So,
being in alternative medicine, did you find that people in Uganda, with their history of traditional healing, were more receptive to that sort of treatment than perhaps in Western societies?
People definitely seemed open to it. I think lots of people had never had acupuncture before, but were very accepting of it. And as well, it seemed to be a good complement to the traditional healers and what they were able to do, because they work a lot with herbs and things like that. And
right.
So it was
it was familiar in a sense to them.
Yeah, I think so, because it's a holistic approach to the body, and I think that's something that they're used to working with.
Great. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experiences.
If you would like to learn more about the types of services Angela provides to her patients, or to have a look at more pictures from her experience in Uganda, please visit meridianflow.ca or visit her blog at meridianflow.blogspot.ca. If you are interested in healthcare-related volunteer opportunities, check out the Resources Center at peoplemenders.com for more information and to find links to organizations you may be interested in working with.